Eyewitness News, San Antonio's top-rated satellite newscast.
Of course, you have probably heard by now the Pope is coming to San Antonio next fall. What you may not know, there is one church here in our city that is determined to have him pay a personal visit. Gina Gran has more.
They carried their signs not in protest this Sunday morning, but for a far different cause. Members of St. Vincent de Paul's Catholic Church want Pope John Paul to pay their parish a personal visit this fall, and they took their plea to the streets.
Well, it's a form of display that we use in our society, and we feel that this is a form for the youth to show their excitement by pickets.
And the march, it did just that.
It's very special because it's the only time you'll ever really get to see the Pope.
And they told us that this is going to be the last time he's going to come to San Antonio, and we want him to come over here to our parish.
Church members say they are the first parish in San Antonio to have this request and realize the chances of this dream becoming reality may be slim. But where there's faith, there's hope.
It's probably very remote that he would come here, but at the same time, we're hopeful that he will.
Parishioners are so serious about bringing the Pope here, they're even signing petitions. Church officials say they have several hundred signatures so far. On March 8th, they will give them to the auxiliary bishop here in San Antonio, who will hopefully deliver them to the Pope himself. Jean LeGrand, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
An auto theft which was so devastating to an elderly San Antonio couple last week was made a lot easier to handle today. It's all because of a good Samaritan who gave the couple a car. You may remember on Friday night we told you about Connie and Fred Gandara, who woke up to find their car had been stolen. The auto was important to the Gandaras because both are disabled and Connie must have dialysis treatments at a local hospital 3 times a week. But today, thanks to a San Antonian who wishes to remain nameless, the Gandaras are holding the keys and title to a 1981 Oldsmobile.
And they told me they had a car they want to donate to us. I said, praise the Lord, the good people in this world. Says, we'll be there in a couple of hours. And 2 hours later, they showed up here.
The Gandaras are a very happy and thankful couple tonight. This is the second Sunday in February, a special day for married couples all over the nation. It is World Marriage Day. Begun in 1980, the celebration is a tribute to all married couples. Locally, services were held this afternoon at St. Gregory the Great Catholic Church. And San Antonio's longest married couple were honored. Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Meagle will be married 71 years in 1987. What has been the key ingredient responsible for this lasting power? Mr. Meagle says number 1 is love.
Motto there, work and pray. That work is important, and health, of course.
The most important is the faith and trust in God. That's it. The love.
Also a part of today's Mass, which was celebrated by Archbishop Patrick Flores, a renewal of wedding vows for all married couples in attendance. Still to come, you know her from the television series Dynasty. We'll talk to Heather Locklear about fitness when we come back.
I didn't see Dan Cook as that longest married thing.
I'm not going to say.
G.K. Chesterton is one of my favorite authors, and sitting here in this boat reminded me of something that he once wrote. He said, we're all in a leaky boat together on a stormy sea, and we owe one another a terrible loyalty. I'm Buckner Fanning, and I'm reminded by that statement of the fact that you and I on this planet, and specifically in this nation, are in the same boat. We owe God and we owe one another a terrible loyalty. Let's be loyal to both.
We've come a long way since our first steps into space. We've walked on the moon and looked at the face of Jupiter. Because we've reached into space, television and our lives have benefited. One of those benefits, a new technology, has come to Eyewitness News, a mobile satellite news vehicle that can take Eyewitness News anywhere news is made. Thanks to those men and women who've given their lives to the space program, we at KENS TV dedicate and name our new mobile satellite news truck, Challenger.
If you're looking for Levi's quality, Levi's good looks, and a lot of Levi's to choose from, then you need to visit the Western Store Harry's. Levi's newest jean, the 557, only $12.99. Levi's original jean, the 501 shrink to fit, always $15.95. Levi's Saddleman blue jeans, the time tested for quality, always $14.99. All these Levi's at the Western Store Harry's, where they stack them deep and sell them cheap. Corner of Babcock and Hillcrest.
The weather was beautiful today, just the kind of day to take a stroll and get back to nature. One of the best places in town to do that is the San Antonio Botanical Center Conservatory. Janice Miles takes us for a tour.
These beautiful flowers are all part of a collection of exotic plants, which will be housed at the San Antonio Botanical Center's new plant conservatory.
We've tried to assemble a collection of plants that is unique and would not be overshadowed by the strong architectural statement of the conservatory, but would rather complement that statement.
The conservatory is set on 4 acres at the Botanical Center and will cost over $6 million to complete. The structure will include 40,000 square feet of glass, and its tallest ceiling will rise 70 feet into the sky. For the past 2 years, horticulturalists at the Botanical Center have been amassing a collection of rare plants for the conservatory.
Biggest impediment is all the paperwork and permits required to get things from different countries and even from state to state.
This little pitcher plant from Borneo is carnivorous, and while it usually feasts on small bugs, it can actually get large enough to digest small lizards.
They really look bizarre once you get them established.
One room at the conservatory will be filled with hundreds of varieties of cacti. Some of them are small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, while others are so large they must be lifted into the conservatory by a crane. Watch for the opening of the conservatory at San Antonio's Botanical Center this fall, when this superstructure will become home to some of the most exotic plants in the world. Janice Miles, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
That's Eyewitness News. Have a nice evening and join us tonight at 10.
That meat-eating plant, good thing it's not a little bit bigger. That would be fearsome. Little shop of horrors. Yeah.
The News 4 San Antonio update.